Good morning, students. Very good morning to every one of you. What's the time? We'll wait, bachcho. At least 2-3 minutes we will wait, okay? Because let them join. Let everyone join, okay? Good morning. Good morning, Tanishk, Shita, everyone, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Sakshi, Harshada, everyone, good morning. Students, I'm actually waiting, just 1 minute, at least 1 minute will wait so that all the students can join, okay? Okay. How many of you have gone through the NEET syllabus I've sent, bacho? That is your proper NEET syllabus, okay? So, and my teaching, not my teaching, any teacher's teaching, it is according to that syllabus, okay? Voice is not audible, is it so? I don't think it's network issue. I think so. Please check your network. Huh? You do one thing, you shut it down and log out, pura log out, and again you come. Your issue will be solved. You leave the class and again you re-enter the class. Issue khatam ho jayega. Yeah, students, enough. We waited enough. I think we can start. What do you say? We waited more than 3-4 minutes. Okay. I think it's time to start. Yeah. Yesterday we started the third kingdom, bachcho. The third kingdom is kingdom fungi, which is also called as mycota. Understand it? Why it is called as mycota? Because the thallus is mycelium in its nature. Understand it is filamentous. Understanding it? That's why it is what again? Mycota. Understanding it? Now, in that we discussed many what general characters, and we stopped in the last general character, last, that is reproduction. Again again reproduction, asexual and also sexual. Now asexual में we completed till vegetative propagation. अंडरस्टैंड, वेजिटेटिव रिप्रोडक्शन तक वी कंप्लीटेड. ओके, इधर तक एनी डाउट्स आर देयर बच्चों? एनी डाउट प्लीज आस्क. नो डाउट्स में आगे जाएगा. yes, if you wanted as a yesterday है ना, that point again if you explain हमको अच्छा लगेगा. ऐसा कुछ है क्या? नो. ओके, दैट्स वेरी गुड. ना डाउट और नो डाउट? जय, doubt, then tell what's doubt. Any doubt you can ask na, there is no issue. जल्दी. हाँ, everyone are waiting actually. बच्चों all are waiting जय आपके लिए. difference between fragmentation and fission. yes, perfect. fragmentation मतलब, see, fission मतलब देखो, this is one fungi. imagine this is one fungi. it undergoes division. It undergoes cell division. It undergoes what? Cell division. Understanding it? And it produces two offsprings. It produces what? Two offsprings. Then this is called as what? Fission. Whereas fragmentation matlab, मान लो this is the mycelium, that means this is a hyphae. It breaks into several pieces. Either cell division is an operating process. Cell it is dividing बच्चों. Fission में cell is dividing. You're understanding it? Whereas here in fragmentation mode, it is not dividing, it is breaking. It is breaking into pieces. Understanding it? For example, मान लो this is pen. This pen, see, is this is what? Division. That means see nicely I am separate कर रहे. Then this is called as what? एक organized process से I'm converting into what? Two pieces. Am I correct? Not ऐसा नहीं मैं ये ऐसा पकड़ के, एक बॉटल पकड़ के ऐसा तोड़ दिया एंड ऐसा ब्रेक किया, then that is called as what? Understood? You got my point or not? So they, the fragmentation matlab, it is breaking into pieces. You're understanding it or not? Cell division matlab it's an organized, or clear fission matlab it's an organized cell division. You're understanding it or not? Organized cell, organizedly it is undergoing a division to produce two offsprings. But fragmentation में ऐसा नहीं है. ये the एक ही hyphae it may breaks into 10 pieces, or it may breaks into 2 pieces, or it may breaks into 3 pieces. There is no guarantee how many offsprings are formed, because it is not a sequential process. Understood बच्चों? उसको एक planning नहीं होता है. Yes, perfect. Breaking of a bottle. Now, how many pieces? Sakshi, no, thanks for helping me. See, perfect example she brought actually. Very appreciative job she did. Okay. Now, let us take sporulation. Asexual reproduction also takes place by sporulation. Again, sporulation मतलब basically sporulation or sporogenesis. दोनों same only. The process of production of spores. I repeat बच्चों, the process of production of the spores is called as sporulation or sporogenesis. You write anything. Sporogenesis if you write, I'll give you marks, and sporulation if you write, I'll give you marks. There is no problem at all. Understanding it? Such sporulation, it takes place by one sporangiospores and conidiospores, oidiospores, and also chlamydospores. Okay, sir, what are they? Yes, we are going to explain bachcho. Don't worry, every point I'll explain. Okay, you need not to worry. So sporulation matlab the process of the formation of the spores is called as what? Sporulation. Such sporulation में there are 4 types of asexual spores that are formed. The first type of spore, it is nothing but what? Sporangiospore. What is that बच्चों? Sporangiospore. बच्चों, what is sporangiospore? You know, मान लो this is mycelium. Example के लिए बोल रहे बच्चों mycelium. Yesterday's class you remember ना? Yesterday's class you remember ना? So mycelium means what? What is mycelium? The body or the thallus of the fungi is called as what? Mycelium. And mycelium is composed, or it is made up of dash. Yes, very good. Filaments called as hyphae. Now ये पूरा mycelium में सिर्फ एक ही hypha लेता है, because confusion होता है ना, इसलिए to avoid the confusion में एक ही hypha लेता है. Now this is one hypha. दिस इज वन हाइफा, दैट मीन्स एक फिलामेंट में नहीं लिया, सिर्फ एक ही फिलामेंट मैंने लिया. नाउ प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, बट थोड़ा ध्यान से सुनो बच्चों, अदरवाइज है ना कंफ्यूजन होता है. थोड़ा थोड़ा ध्यान से सुनो, वेरी इजी, 100%, इट्स माई गारंटी, यू विल अंडरस्टैंड, बट यू हैव टू लिसन केयरफुली. ओके, नाउ दिस इज हाइफा है ना. Yeah, Sakshi, very good. This is hyphae na. The tip of the hyphae, what is that bachcho? The tip of the hyphae, it develops a sac-like structure. The tip of the hyphae, it is developing a sac-like structure, and the sac-like structure which is developed at the tip, it is called as sporangium. Where is it? I did not highlight it. It is called as sporangium. Sir, you wrote sporangium and you are calling sporangium, ye kya hai sir? Bachcho, sporangia matlab he is explaining about all the hyphaes, but I already told you, to avoid confusion, I am taking single hypha na, that's why I am calling it as sporangium. For example, if I am talking about all the hyphae, then I will call it as sporangia. That means singular plural, zyada difference nahi hai. Understood bachcho? Now tell me, what do you mean by sporangium? Tell me what you understood. Sporangium matlab kya hai? Sporangium means what? The tip of the hyphae, I repeat, the tip of the hyphae produce a sac-like structure, and that sac-like structure which is produced at the tip of the hyphae is called as sporangium. Understanding it? Now again I am asking you, what do you mean by sporangium? What do you mean by sporangium? The sac-like structure that is produced at the tip of the hyphae. Okay, now what is the difference between, Gaurav, I already explained beta, I think you are not listening properly. At the time of sporulation, the hyphae tip hai na, it develops a sac-like structure, and that sac-like structure, it is called as sporangium. Now understood beta? Is this clear, Gaurav? Yes. Okay, now can I take the next point, bachcho? Is this okay if I take the next point, or you wanted to ask anything? Now this particular sporangium, understanding it, it undergoes inside the cells are there na, this hypha ka cells, it undergoes division. The hyphal cell, मान लो beta, this is hyphae. Okay, and the tip, it produces what? A sac-like structure. Now this tip ka cells are there na, this tip cells, it undergoes what? Division to produce the spores, and these spores are called as endogenous. Sir, division तक समझ में है सर, I don't have any problem, but endogenous division मतलब क्या है? अरे यार sac का अंदर, the division किधर it is happening बच्चों? sac का अंदर it is happening. So when the cell division, it is taking place inside any sac-like structure, that is called as endogenous division. So the tip cells of hyphae, it undergoes what? Division to produce endogenous division to produce many spores, and these spores are called what? Sporangiospores. Understood bachcho? Now who will tell? Let me repetition is very very important. I always believe in revision. Okay, but the more times you revise, the more you will understand. Now who will tell bachcho what you understood from sporangiospores? Sporangiospores, how they are formed? Step number one, tell me what is the step number one? Tell me. The mycelium में, no one are telling, I don't know what happened to you. Step one में hypha, it produces a sac-like structure. This is step number one. This hypha, it produces sac-like structure. The tip of the hypha, it produces a sac-like structure, and this sac-like structure, it is called as what? Sporangium. Okay, now in this sporangium में, the hyphal cell, it undergoes endogenous division. That means endogenous मतलब sac का अंदर division happen. See this cell is there ना, sac का अंदर it is dividing. sac का, that's why endo. बच्चों endo मतलब क्या है? Inside. So endogenous division. So the sac का अंदर, the hypha cell, it is undergoing division. See this hypha cell है ना, it is undergoing division. अच्छा से understanding it. It produces 2 cells, and again they divide, they produce 4 cells. Like that, they undergoes division, and by the division, the spores are formed, and these spores are formed inside the sac-like structure, that is called sporangium. That's why it is called as sporangiospores. Understood bachcho? Understood children? Is this clear? Okay, now tell me, what do you mean by sporangiospores? Sporangiospores matlab kya? What do you mean by sporangiospores? The spores which are formed in the sac-like structure called as a sporangium, which is formed at the tip of hyphae, is called as sporangiospores. Now I told, now I am expecting answer from you. What do you mean by sporangiospores? Yes, the spores that are produced inside the sporangium at the tip of hyphae, which is formed at the tip of hyphae, is called as what? Sporangiospores. Now, any doubts are there, children? No doubts? Sure, na? Pakka? 100%. Now, this sporangium, after some time, it breaks into pieces, it ruptures. See, dekho, how it is ruptured? Dekh rahe na aapko? How it is ruptured? And releasing all these spores out. And these spores, hai na, they go different places and they will germinate into nice what I call fungi. Understanding it? So, this is the way, this is the way, I think many are complaining क्या हुआ बच्चों I log it log in log out I log out and log in please wait maybe मेरा साइड से भी मिस्टेक हो सकता है ना so बच्चों please don't go away I'll be back in just half a minute okay yeah now it is clear children बच्चों at least now it is okay okay yes now so sporangiosperm सबको समझ में ना बच्चों any doubts in this now can I ask just one question just only one or two questions ज़्यादा नहीं okay I don't trouble you up okay just one or two questions now the sac which is formed at the tip of hyphae is called as dash the sac like structure which is formed at the sporangium now in the sporangium the hyphal cells undergoing a dash division which division yes endogenous division why it is called as endogenous division okay endogenous yes very good everyone are answering I'm so happy for that why it is called as endogenous division mujhe pata yes very good because it is occurring inside the sac understand because it is inside the sac now how the spores that are formed in sporangium they comes out sporangium ka andar spores are formed na how they comes out yes the sac hai na it will rupture like that all these particular spores they comes out and they will go different places understanding it and they will reach the sporangium hai na after the yes beta kalpesh I am explaining that only the this is the third point that I am explaining beta just and the sporangium hai na after producing the spores it will rupture see how it is bursting see this is what spores पूरा spores form होने के बाद ये पूरा spores form होने के बाद these spores this sporangium this sac and it will rupture and release all the spores out and the spores hai na they will go by wind water kidhar wherever they go they will go and they will germinate into new fungi abhi happy kalpesh now we understood the third point sporangia rupture release all the spores out and they will go wherever water wind whatever it may be and they will reach some other places and they will germinate into a new independent fungi okay bachcho so can I believe that idhar tak no doubts are there sach boliye bachcho can I 100% sir you can believe us no problem okay we can answer in the exam okay okay so somewhat sir yeah somewhat okay now these sporangiospores are of two types rupture beta rupture matlab burst for example balloon hai na for example balloon hai na when you blow the air what at a point what happens it will burst the more the air you will blow it will burst and the more the spores it is forming at a point the sac cannot be able to tolerate it will rupture see isme kya what is the point okay so at least now you understood Sakshi at least okay now sac है ना, due to the more spores it will burst, that's it, और कुछ भी नहीं, understanding it. Now such sporangiospores are of two types. What are the two types? The first type of sporangiospore, it is called as zoospore, and the next one, it is called as apelnospore. Sir, what do you mean by zoospore and apelnospore? Zoospore matlab the spore, please understand, the sporangiospore which is having flagella. Please understand bachcho, this is a sporangiospore, and the sporangiospore which is having flagella and which can be able to move by itself, then that is called a zoospore. Whereas the sporangiospore which is not having flagella, which cannot be able to move by itself, and it will be moved by either wind or water, then that is called as apelnospore. Now tell me bachcho, how many types of sporangiospores are there? There are how many types of sporangiospores? Two. What are the two types of sporangiospores? One, zoospore. Two, apelnospore. Now, zoospore matlab kya hai? The zoospores are flagellated and motile. That means they consisting of flagella. With the help of flagella, they can move from one place to another place. Whereas apelnospores, they don't have flagella. That's why they can't move from one place to another place. That's why they will be carried by either wind or water or by insects, etc. Understood, bachcho? Now tell me, zoospores are having dash. Zoospores are dash spores. Zoospores are flagellated spores, flagellated and motile spores, and apelnospores are dash spores. Non-flagellated and non-motile spores. Non-flagellated and non-motile spores. Understanding it? Now, I have a doubt. Can I ask my doubt? Apelnospores don't have flagella, so they can't move by themselves. Then how they are going to different places? Okay, they don't move. Then how they are going? Yes, by wind or even by water. Water also. Even wind, water, or sometimes by insects also. Some insects. Understanding it? Now, a slide में any doubts are there, बच्चों? Any doubts in this slide? Any doubt you can ask. Okay. Now, what do you mean by sporangiospores? फटाफट, ज़्यादा time waste नहीं करना है, because we need to types. There are two types of sporangiospores. The first one is zoospores and second one is apelnospores. Zoospores matlab the sporangiospores which have flagella. With the help of flagella, they can move from one place to another place. Apelnospores matlab the sporangiospores which are not having what I call flagella, so that they can't be able to move by themselves. That's why they will move with the help of wind and water. Understood, bachcho? Who asked first of all? First of all, I forgot who asked and I am explaining. Kalpesh. Yes. Okay. Now, फटाफट, ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं है हमारे पास. What do you mean by sporangiospores? फटाफट. What do you mean by sporangiospores? The spores which are formed in a special sac-like structure called as sporangium, which is formed at the tip of hyphae, is called as what? Sporangiospores. Now, how many types of sporangiospores are there? Two. What are the two types of sporangiospores? What are the two types of sporangiospores? Zoospores and apelnospores. What is the difference between zoospore and apelnospore? What is the difference between zoospore and apelnospore? Yes, zoospores are motile because they're consisting of flagella, whereas apelnospores are non-motile because they don't have flagella. Okay. Now, zoospore can be able to move by themselves, but apelnospores, how they are moving? Because they don't have flagella, but how they are moving, bachcho? Yes, wind, water or insects, whatever it may be. Understood, बच्चों? So, exam में कोई क्वेश्चन आएगा, sporangiosspores को ऊपर कुछ भी क्वेश्चन आएगा, will you be able to answer now? Yes, पक्का ना? Okay. The real understanding matlab any question if it comes, you should be able to answer. You should be able to handle it. That is called as true understanding. Okay, bachcho. Now the next one is conidia spores. Okay. Now I already told you sporangiospores. I already told you. Then you told you understood. Now the second type of asexual spore, it is nothing but conidiospores. And if you take conidiospores, bachcho, please understand. थोड़ा अच्छे से सुनो. मान लो this is mycelium. मान लो आई ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू माइसोलियम के एक तरीका नहीं होता है, कुछ भी अंडरस्टैंड, इट विल बी प्रेजेंट इन एनी वे, अंडरस्टैंड। मान लो दिस इज माइसीलियम, माइसीलियम में आई विल टेक हाइफा, आई विल टेक व्हाट बच्चों, हाइफा। नाउ दिस इज व्हाट द हाइफा, ओके लेट अस टेक वन मोर हाइफा, let us take one more hypha, understand it, so enough, three is more than enough, इससे ज्यादा जरूर भी नहीं है। now please थोड़ा अच्छे से सुनो बच्चों, थोड़ा अच्छे से सुनो, 100% you will understand if you listen carefully, okay। the tip cell of the hypha, बच्चों the tip cell, see सबसे ऊपर सेल उसको क्या बोलते हैं बच्चों, tip cells, this is called what बच्चों, tip cell। now tell me बच्चों what is the meaning of tip cell, what do you mean by tip cell, the cell which is present at the tip of hyphae, it is called as what, the tip cell, okay। the tip cell of the hyphae, it undergoes division, now it undergoes one division, so because of one division what happens, the cell it is added here, and again it undergoes one more division, again one more cell is added, because of this division one more cell is added, so the tip cell of the hyphae it undergoes division, I repeat bachcho, the tip cells of hyphae undergoes division to produce the exogenous spores, they are called as what, conidiospores, बच्चों समझ में है ना बच्चों, conidiospores मतलब the tip cells they undergoes division, the tip cells of hyphae undergoes division and they produce what, सेल्स एक्सोजीनियसली, बच्चों आई डोंट नो, मुझे पूरा समझ में आया बट लेकिन मुझे एक समझ में नहीं आया, व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ एक्सोजीनियस डिवीजन, आई थिंक एवरीवन कैन आंसर बट स्टिल, yeah see it is not, the division it is not taking place anywhere in the sac, it is directly happening outside the cell only na bachchon, so understood, now tell me bachchon what do you mean by conidiospores, अच्छे से बोलिए, there is no problem if you tell mistake, see I am like your father only, so you can take, you can speak mistakes, I will correct you, okay, you don't worry about mistakes, okay। so now tell me whatever you understood, you tell me confidently, you tell me what is the meaning of conidiospores, no wait let me draw the hyphen, just wait but please wait, now tell now this is hyphen, now tell me how conidiospores are formed, yes the tip cell है ना, it undergoes one division, one division का द्वारा how many cells will be added बच्चों, two cells are added, okay। now again this cells again undergoes the division, now what happens बच्चों, four cells are added, like that due to the exogenous division, due to exogenous division of the tip cells of the hyphae it forms a spores, that type of spores are called as conidiospores, children समझ में आया ना, सच बोलना है, everyone should speak truth, clear, okay। now if you really understand, सच में if you understand, tell me what is the difference, अभी समझ बच्चों, I will understand everything, now देखता है आप सच बोल रहे हैं असच बोल रहे हैं, I'll get to know what is the difference between sporangiosperms and conidiospores, हाँ अभी मुझे पूरा समझ में आएगा, how many of you really understood, yes very good, sporangiosperms are endogenous spores and conidiospores are what, exogenous spores, understanding it, and sporangiosperms are zoospores and applenospores, and conidiospores are single, they don't have any other types, no types, understanding it, and they will be carried by wind and water, understand, no types, एक ही type है बेटा, सिर्फ एक ही type, okay, understood बच्चों, any doubts are there, नो, वेरी गुड वेरी गुड। नाउ देखो और एक स्पोर लेता है हम, ओके बच्चों, और एक स्पोर क्या है, ऑइडियोस्पोर, बच्चों ऑइडियोस्पोर मतलब दिस, देखो प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, मान लो दिस इज वन माइसीलियम, द हाइफे, माइसीलियम मतलब पूरा बॉडी, दिस इज व्हाट, पूरा का पूरा बॉडी, अंडरस्टैंड, दिस इज माइसीलियम, माइसीलियम सी माइसीलियम में मैं एक ही हाइफा में ले रही है, अंडरस्टैंड, दिस इज वन हाइफा, नाउ दिस हाइफा इट ब्रेक्स इनटू पीसेस, but please understand this mycelium it breaks into pieces and every broken piece and every broken fragment it converts into an oval shaped structure called as what, oidiospore, bachcho you're understanding it or not, bachcho you're not telling, okay, yeah, repeat once, okay beta, this is what hyphae, इधर तक समझ में ना, this is what hyphae, understanding it, and this hyphae it breaks into pieces, इधर तक समझ में ना, it breaks into what, pieces, इधर तक समझ में ना, Okay, now these broken fragments, they develop into oval shaped spores, and these oval shaped spores which are formed by the breaking of the hyphae, it is called as what? Oidiospores. And they are non-motile. They are what? They can't be able to move. Sir, when they can't move, how they will reach different places? They will reach different places by wind or water or insects, etc. चिल्ड्रन समझ में ना? Okay, now tell me, आपको समझ में आएगा तो you have to tell. If you really understand, you have to tell. Now tell me, oidiospores are formed by dash process. Oidiospores are formed by, explain again. Okay, now this is hyphae beta. Hyphae, it undergoes breaking. That means it breaks into pieces, and by the pieces, by the fragmentation, many pieces will be formed. Each and every fragment, it develops into an oval shaped structure that is called as oidiospore. इतना easy. अभी समझ में ना? Who asked? First of all, मैं तो बात कर रहे, but who asked? कल्पेश asked. So कल्पेश बेटा समझ में है ना? क्या हुआ कल्पेश? All are waiting for your answer. Yes, understood. थोड़ा quick because many students are waiting ना, that's why we need to be little quick. Okay, now tell me बच्चों, if you really understand, because Kalpesh asked ना, so let us ask Kalpesh only. So I am expecting answer from you Kalpesh now. Okay, now tell me how oidiospores are formed. Oidiospores, how they are formed, tell me. Yes, no, but Neha, but I am expecting answer from Kalpesh na, because he asked. So Kalpesh beta, please answer because all the students are waiting for you. Yes, the hyphae, it breaks into pieces now, and each and every piece it develops into an oval shaped structure. Oval matlab अंडा पता है ना, अंडा जैसा structure, and is oval shaped structures that are formed, that is called as what? Oidiospores. Understanding it? They're called as what? Oidiospores. Understood बच्चों? Sir, मुझे सब समझ में आ रहा है sir. I am understanding everything, but I am not understanding. Sir, examples. See, sir, you are telling examples. Sir, either be, see, conidiospores. Conidiospores may are you take the upper spores. What is that, बच्चों? Sporangiosperms में the examples, same examples are repeating. Sir, why the same examples are repeating? बच्चों, why the same examples are repeating? You know, एक ही type of fungi can be able to produce 2 or 3 types of spores, depends upon the situation. For example, you are the single one, but you are attending the chemistry lecture also, you are attending the physics lecture also, you are attending the botany lecture also, you are attending the zoology lecture also. But single person, you are attending this many lectures. Am I correct? Not like that. Single fungi, sometimes it produces more than 2 types of what? Spores. Better samajh mein na? That's why sometimes the examples are repeating. Understood, bachcho? So why sometimes the same example is repeating for more than one time, बच्चों? Oidiospores में भी आ रही है, conidiospores में भी आ रही है. Sir, why is this happening? Tell me. You are telling yes, but I want answer. Yes नहीं, I want answer. मुझे answer चाहिए. Yes नहीं. No, no. One time नहीं बट. No. Tanishq, no. डिपेंड वन एक ही टाइम में 2 टाइप्स ऑफ स्पोर्स. नो ये तो एक लिमिट होता है. एक टाइम में एक टाइप ऑफ स्पोर एंड सेकंड टाइम में सेकंड. एक ही टाइम में कैन यू लिसन केमिस्ट्री एंड फिजिक्स लेक्चर, बॉटनी जुआलजी लेक्चर में साथ में राकेश सर विल एक्सप्लेन एंड जुआलजी एंड आई विल एक्सप्लेन बॉटनी. आप दोनों अच्छे से एक ही टाइम में दोनों लेक्चर्स आप सुन के अच्छे से नोट्स लिखो. हैप्पी? ऐसा होता है क्या बच्चों? एक टाइम में एक टाइप ऑफ स्पोर्स. Understood, children? Now, the next one is chlamydospores. What is that, bachcho? Chlamydospores. Now, if you take chlamydospores, see, मान लो this is hyphae. Please understand, bachcho. मान लो this is what? Hyphae. मान लो this is hyphae. And these are hyphal cells. These are what? Hyphal cells. Okay, बच्चों प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड. हाइफे में प्लीज ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड. हाइफे में इधर द टेर्मिनल सेल्स और इंटरकैलरी सेल्स. सर इंटरकैलरी सेल्स मतलब, टेर्मिनल सेल्स मतलब सबको पता है सर, द सेल विच इज प्रेजेंट द टिप, दैट इज कॉल्ड स्फेरमल सेल. ये भी मुझे पता है सर. इंटरकैलरी सेल्स मतलब क्या है? द सेल विच इज प्रेजेंट इनसाइड द हाइफे. So it is present inside. See, this is bachcho, this is hyphae. Okay, मान लो this is cell number 1, cell number 2, cell number 3, cell number 4, cell number 5, cell number 6, like that. Now the upper, the topmost cell, it is called as terminal cell. Whereas मान लो this third cell, it is called as intercalary cell, because this is a cell which is present within the hyphae. बच्चों टेल मी व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय टर्मिनल सेल एंड इंटरकैलरी सेल? पहले ये बोलिए, बाद में विल डिस्कस अबाउट द कॉन्सेप्ट बाद में. पहले यू टेल मी व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ टर्मिनल सेल एंड इंटरकैलरी सेल. टर्मिनल सेल मतलब, yes, very good. Now I want intercalary cell. What do you mean by intercalary cell, bachcho? Yes, the cell which is present within the hyphae. Now chlamydospores matlab the cell which is present terminal or the cell which is present intercalary, any cell. First of all, what happens, you know, these cells, they develops a thick wall around them. What they develop, bachcho? It develop a thick wall around them, and they by themselves, bachcho, by themselves, no one need to do anything. By themselves only, they separate from the hyphae. They develop a thick coat around them, a very thick coat around them, and automatically khudi by themselves only, you need not to go and separate, or I need not to go and separate. By themselves only they will separate. Understand? By themselves only they will separate, and they converts into spores, and they behave like a spores. And whenever they find good conditions, these all the conditions are good, abhi I can germinate, that time mein they will germinate into individual fungi. बच्चों समझ में आना? और एक बार बोलूं मैं. बच्चों समझ में आया? और एक बार बोलूं मैं. Clear? Repeat. Okay, I'll repeat, no problem. Okay, now this is hyphae बच्चों, this is hyphae. Hyphae में either the terminal cell or intercalary cell, it develops a thick layer around it, thick, very thick layer, so thick layer around them. And after developing thick layer, they automatically separate from the hyphae, and they will wait till the good conditions come, and after the good conditions come, they will germinate into fungi. बच्चों समझ में ना? Now you understood? और एक बार बोलो, there is no hesitation. You ask 100 times, I'll explain, but you should understand. Now what you understood, tell me. Step number 1. No, ऐसा नहीं, clear नहीं. I don't want that answer, I want clear answer. Okay, I don't want clear answer, I want clear answer. Understanding it? Now tell me, what is step number of chlamydospores? Step number 1. Step number 1. Either the terminal cell or the intercalary cell, they develops a thick, either terminal cell or the intercalary cell, it develops a thick layer around them. And second step number 2, thick layer. बाद में step number 2, detach by themselves. Detach by themselves. बाद में third step number 3, बाद में wait for good conditions. Last step, good conditions आया, and then they will germinate to form. Good conditions आया ना, अच्छा conditions आया, then they will germinate to produce new fungi. That's it. इतना simple. देखो कितना simple. आपको समझ में ना? Understood बच्चों? Now tell me, how many types of asexual spores are there? How many types of asexual spores? फटाफट. How many types of asexual? 4 types. What are the 4 types? फटाफट बोलना है. What are the 4 types? Quick revision बोलते हैं उसको. The first, sporangiospores, and the next one is what? Conidiospores. The third one is what? Oidiospores, and the fourth one is what? Chlamydospores. Okay, now one after one, please don't everyone don't answer, because मुझे confusion आता है. Okay, and आपको भी confusion आता है. Anyone explain about sporangiospores, please, on your mic, and you tell. बच्चों, don't think about wrong. Okay, I am there ना, so I will correct you if you tell wrong. So confidently on your mic, sir, this is sporangiospore. बोलिए. बच्चों प्लीज डोंट मेक डिले, फटाफट बोलिए. व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय sporangiospores? टाइप क्यों करता है? आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड. बच्चा, आई एम आस्किंग यू टू स्पीक. You know speaking, how to speak?
Spores which are formed endogenously inside sac-like structures present at the tip of hyphae, known as sporangium.
Sporangiospores, beta. Sporangiospores.
No,
Okay.
the sac-like structure.
Yeah, sac-like structure, it is called sporangium. Now, how many types of sporangiospores are there, beta?
Sporangiosperms are formed.
No, sporangiospores are how many types, beta?
Two types.
What are they? Zoospores and applenospores. What is that? Zoospores and applenospores. What happened to her? Why she got disconnected? Okay. What is the difference between zoospore and applenospore? What is the difference between zoospore and applenospore?
Flagellated and they are motile, whereas
Spores are motile and flagellated.
Please speak only one at time, because she get disappointed and otherwise you get disappointed. See, आपको भी मैं एक क्वेश्चन पूछता है, please speak one after one, please, it's my request. Okay, now who will, you decide who will speak one after one. Who speak? Yeah, टाइम वेस्ट हो रहे हैं. चलो बच्चों, आई थिंक यू आर नॉट कंफर्टेबल टू स्पीक. आई डोंट नो आपको क्या, आई रियली डोंट अंडरस्टैंड. ओके, ओके, सो टेक एनी वंस नेम. ओके, जय, यू ओनली टेल देन. आपने आइडिया दिया ना, आपको ही. ओके, जय, प्लीज ऑन योर माइक and tell me what is the difference between zoospore and applenospore. जल्दी बच्चों, टाइम
Spores
वेस्ट हो रहे हैं. हाँ बच्चों, आई थिंक टाइम इज गेटिंग वेस्टेड. चलो, विल लीव. नाउ टेल मी बच्चों, एनी डाउट्स आर देयर इन द फोर स्पोर्स? एनी डाउट्स आर देयर इन द फोर स्पोर्स? कैन आई गो आगे? ओके, नेक्स्ट वन. Next one. So with this we completed asexual reproduction. Today we are taking one more topic, that is nothing but sexual reproduction. Now sexual reproduction, it takes place by a special reproductive structure that is called as gametangia. Understanding it? The fungi produces special structures that are called as what? Gametangia. What is that bachcho? In this gametangia mein you can be able to see gametes formation. Now tell me bachcho, in fungi the special structures are formed to produce gametes. What are the special structures that are formed? Tell me. The special structures are formed which behaves like a reproductive organ. What are the? Gametangia. And this gametangia produces dash are produced by gametangia. Dash are produced by gametangia. Gametes. What is gametangia? Gametangia is a special reproductive structure. Gametangia is a special reproductive structure. Okay. Now, please थोड़ा अच्छे से सुनो बच्चों. It's my request. Please थोड़ा अच्छे से सुनो. The sexual reproduction, it includes 3 steps bachcho. The sexual reproduction, it includes 3 steps. Step number 1, it is called as a plasmogamy. What is that bachcho? Plasmogamy. Step number 2, it is called as karyogamy. And the step number 3 is nothing but what? Meiosis. I repeat bachcho, I repeat. The sexual reproduction, it takes place in 3 steps bachcho. What are the 3 steps? The first one is plasmogamy, second one is karyogamy, and the third one is what? Meiosis. Okay bachcho, let us take step after step. The step after step we will explain, then you will understand clearly. The first step is plasmogamy. What is that bachcho? Plasmogamy. Now if you take plasmogamy bachcho, first of all let us take this is one hyphae. Bachcho please understand, let us take this is one hyphae. Now मान लो this is cell number 1 and मान लो this is cell number 2. Cell number 1 and cell number 2. Understanding bachcho? Now the cell number 1 and cell number 2, they are separated by this cross wall. Am I correct or not bachcho? They are separated by the cross wall. Am I correct or not? So while they are separated by cross wall, at the time of plasmogamy, what happens? This cross wall, it gets disappeared. Now tell me bachcho, the cross wall, it disappears. What will disappear bachcho? The cross wall will cross wall will disappear. And because of the cross wall disappears, what happens? The plasma, the protoplasm of this cell and this protoplasm of this cell, दोनों they get mixed up. This cell का protoplasm and this cell का protoplasm, they completely get mixed up. And the process of fusion, the process of fusion of the protoplasms of two cells by the disappearing of the septum is called as what? Plasmogamy. Now tell me bachcho, what is the meaning of plasmogamy? Fusion of protoplasm. Fusion of what bachcho? Protoplasm. Fusion of protoplasm of two cells is called as what? By disappearing of the septum is called as what? Plasmogamy. Bachcho samajh mein hai na? If you really understand, tell me what is plasmogamy. Now मान लो this is hyphae. Now this hyphae में these are the two cells. Now tell me बच्चों, what are the two cells में क्या होता है plasmogamy में? Plasmogamy में क्या होता है बच्चों? Now this septum will disappear. This septum will disappear. Now this septum will disappear. Now because the septum it is disappeared, what happens bachcho? What happens? This protoplasm and this protoplasm pura they get mixed up. Okay, and because the protoplasms got mixed up, what happens? You know, now इधर एक न्यूक्लियस है, इधर एक न्यूक्लियस है, दोनों न्यूक्लियस एक ही जगह पे आएगा. That's why it is called as a dikaryon stage. बच्चों, what is that? It is called as what? Dikaryon stage or di. Why? That is a process, beta. Why septum disappears? मतलब, see, it wanted to perform sexual reproduction. It's good question, huh? But you asked nicely. Okay, why septum disappear? मतलब, it wanted to participate in the sexual reproduction, and unless the septum is there, see, बच्चों septum is there, then the protoplasm do not fuse, na? You tell me, बच्चों, आप खुद ही बोलिए. Understand? Because you asked, so I am asking you only. If septum is not disappeared, then how the what is the meaning of plasmogamy? You tell me. Fusion of protoplasm. If septum is like that only, then how the protoplasm will mix up? You tell me. Is there any other tarika? Is there the protoplasm of one cell, it will jump, it will like a dive करके it will go to other cell? Chance है क्या? No. So that's why it's a process, beta. It's a process. Okay, what you tell me that whatever you understood, wrong, right, छोड़ दो, मेरा सिर पे छोड़ दो. Wrong, right, आप सोचना ही मत. I will correct if it is wrong, and I'll appreciate if you tell correct. Now tell me, what is the first step? What is the first step of the sexual reproduction? Step number 1 of the sexual reproduction. What is the first step? Plasmogamy. Now definition. What is plasmogamy? Step number 1 is plasmogamy. What is plasmogamy? I want answer. The process of fusion of the protoplasm of two cells is called as what? Plasmogamy. Understood, bachcho? Now, because how the plasmogamy it is taking place? Tell me. Process. How the plasmogamy? This is the septum. Septum ka beech mein. So मान लो this is one cell and this second cell. Septum का बीच में what is that? Septum का बीच में what is it? The cells का बीच में septum it will disappear. देखो it got disappeared. And because it disappeared, what happened? Here the protoplasm and here the protoplasm. पूरा this protoplasm से get mixed up. So because of this, एक ही cell में two nuclei are there. एक ही cell में how many nuclei are there बच्चों? Two nuclei. Because two nuclei is there, it is called as a dash stage. Because two nuclei are there, it is called as which stage? एक ही सेल में by the fusion of the protoplasm two nuclei are there. Now it is called as a dikaryon stage. And that mycelium it is called as what? And that mycelium it is called as what? And that mycelium is called as what? Dikaryotic or dikaryon mycelium. You write anything. I don't worry because दोनों correct only ना. Okay. Now safety के लिए. So don't think that सार बार बार वही करते हैं. सेफ्टी के लिए बच्चों, सेफ्टी, सिर्फ ओनली फॉर सेफ्टी. प्लीज डोंट टेक मी इन अ रॉन्ग वे. Sexual reproduction, it takes place in how many steps? Sexual reproduction takes place in 3 steps. What is step number 1? What is plasmogamy? What is plasmogamy? What is plasmogamy? Fusion of protoplasm. And how the protoplasm is fusing? How the protoplasm is fusing? The septum is disappeared, so that the protoplasm is getting mixed up. Results in एक ही सेल में, results in एक ही सेल में, results in एक ही सेल में two nuclei. Because एक ही सेल में two nuclei आ रहे हैं, it is called as dash dikaryon stage, and that mycelium is called as what? Dikaryotic dikaryon mycelium. You write anything, I don't worry, because dono correct only. Okay, so with this all the students understood step number 1. बच्चों सच बोलना है, all the students, every student who is attending my class. Yes, now the next step number 2, as you said step number 1 हमको समझ में आया. I am going to step number 2. Step number 2 में it is called as karyogamy. बच्चों karyogamy मतलब, बच्चों you tell me plasmogamy में what happened? प्लास्मोगमी में व्हाट हैपेंड बच्चों? प्लास्मोगमी में दिस इज माइसीलियम, माइसीलियम का अंदर 2 सेल्स का सेप्टम इट डिसअपियर, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ द डिसअपियरेंस ऑफ द सेप्टम द प्रोटोप्लाज्म मिक्स हो गया. बिकॉज ऑफ द मिक्सिंग ऑफ द प्रोटोप्लाज्म एक ही सेल में 2 न्यूक्लिया आया. इधर तक समझ में? दैट इज डाइकैरियन स्टेज. दिस इज स्टेप नंबर 1. स्टेप नंबर 2 में द 2 न्यूक्लिया दैट आर प्रेजेंट इन द सेल, द 2 न्यूक्लियाई that are present in the cell, and these particular 2 nuclei they get fused. now abhi 2 nuclei hai na, now dekho this 2 nuclei they fuse to form एक ही nuclei. बच्चों समझ में ना? and this एक ही nuclei, because nucleus it is fusing. what is fusing बच्चों? plasmogamy, protoplasm it is getting fusing, plasmogamy. karyogamy, karyot matlab nucleus, gamy matlab fusion, nucleus it is getting fusion, that is called as, that's why it is called as karyogamy. and this formed single nucleus, it is very big, and it is called as synkaryon. bachcho it is called what? Synkaryon. This diploid nucleus it is called as what bachcho? Synkaryon. now tell me bachcho, what is the second step of the sexual reproduction? what is the second step of the sexual reproduction?
Fusion of 2 nucleus to form a single nucleus.
Very good, very good. and that big nucleus, that single big nucleus, it is called as what beta?
Carrion.
Yes, very good, very nicely you answered. I am very happy for that. okay, now with this second step, सच में समझ में है ना बच्चों? सच बोलना है, everyone should tell truth. okay, repeat. okay, the 2 nuclei which is present in एक ही cell, they fuse. because 2 nuclei, 2 haploid nucleus, they are fusing, it results in the formation of single big nucleus, and a single big nucleus that is formed by the fusion of 2 nuclei, 2 haploid nuclei, it is called as what? Synkaryon. and this step it is called as karyogamy. who asked first of all? मैं तो बात कर रहे, but who asked? ओनकर बेटा समझ में है ना? okay, now can I confidently go to the third step? confident sir, आराम से जाओ, there is no problem. ऐसा है क्या सच में? okay, now the next one is what? meiosis. बच्चों wait, I will ask the questions. अभी yes बोलिए, just give me 1 minute. मैं आपको एक चार्ट लेके आया, that chart में I'll ask all the questions, then I'll see whether you will answer or not. wait. now the last step, it is nothing but what? meiosis. बच्चों meiosis मतलब, now this is what बच्चों? this is what? synkaryon. just now I told you synkaryon it is formed by the fusion of, देखता है how many will answer. synkaryon it is formed by the fusion of 2 haploid nuclei. understood? and this synkaryon है ना, it undergoes meiosis. it undergoes what बच्चों? meiosis. and meiosis का वजह से 4 haploid, what is that बच्चों? 4 haploid spores are formed. what is that बच्चों? 4 haploid spores are formed. understood? how many haploid nucleus will be formed बच्चों? 4 haploid nucleus will be formed, and this 4 haploid nuclei they converts into the 4 haploid spores. this 4 haploid nucleus will be there na, it will be converted into 4 haploid spores. understood? and these spores they comes out and they germinate into new haploid what I call fungi. understood? 14 nahi beta, 4. see, I think you know, I think आपको पता नहीं. if any cell undergoes mitosis, 2 cells will be formed. if any cell undergoes meiosis, then 4 cells are formed. ये थोड़ा है ना universal fact. this type of facts are called as, yeah beta, Kshitij wait please, I am explaining, I am telling one point now, after that please wait, just 1 minute. बच्चों these are called as universal facts. उसको हम बोलते हैं सर यूनिवर्सल फैक्ट मतलब क्या है? वेर एवर यू गो दिस टाइप ऑफ थिंग्स दे नेवर चेंज, दिस टाइप ऑफ थिंग्स नेवर चेंज. सो ऑलवेज माइटोसिस के द्वारा हाउ मेनी सेल्स विल बी फॉर्म्ड? ये याद रखना, मन में है ना, इट शुड नॉट गो आउट, अंडरस्टैंड इट, मन में ही रखो. सो माइटोसिस का वजह से ऑलवेज, यस हर्षदा, 2 cells. नाउ मियोसिस का वजह से ऑलवेज 4 cells are formed, understanding it? And mitosis always produce diploid cells and meiosis always produce haploid cells. Bachcho, these are called as universal facts, universal truths, and universal truth never change. That means America jao, Australia jao, Andaman Nicobar jao, wherever you go, never this facts will change. These are universal facts. Okay, now I'll explain, because there's some 2-3 students, they asked me to repeat meiosis once again. Now बेटा हमें आपके लिए और एक बार रिवाइज कर रहे हैं. नाउ सिंकैरियन है ना, सिंकैरियन, दिस इज अ डिप्लॉयड न्यूक्लियस. नाउ दिस डिप्लॉयड न्यूक्लियस, इट अंडरगोस meiosis. By meiosis it produces 4 haploid nuclei, and this 4 haploid nuclei धीरे धीरे it converts into 4 haploid what spores, and these 4 haploid spores, they will be released out of the cell and they will go wherever they wanted to go. They will go by wind, water, whatever it may be, and they germinate into new fungi. That's it, or kuch bhi nahi. Who asked? I think if I'm correct, Kshitija asked. Yes, Kshitija beti samajh mein na? Yes, understood. No, Kshitija also asked na. Kshitija beti, I'm waiting for your reply. 93 students are waiting for your reply. Jaldi answer karna hai aap. यस वेरी गुड. नाउ आप सच बोल रहे, झूठ बोल रहे, मुझे पूरा पता चलेगा. देखो मैं आपके लिए क्या लेके आया, अभी देखता है. ओके, नाउ टेल मी, हु विल टेल, लेट मी सी व्हाट इज द फर्स्ट स्टेप. किधर, एक किधर रखना है हमें, वेयर आई शुड पुट 1. दिस इज सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन. किधर में रखना है, व्हाट इज, whether किधर I should put 1, either shall I put, either shall I put, either shall I put, either 1. This is step number 1. किधर में 2 रखना है. स्टेप नंबर 2, किधर रखना है, मैं इधर रखूं, मैं कैन आई पुट हियर, कैरियोगामी, अंडरस्टैंडिंग. दिस इज स्टेप नंबर 2. ओके, नाउ किधर रखना है, स्टेप नंबर 3, किधर रखना है, स्टेप नंबर 3, meiosis. Understood? Now tell me, what is the meaning of plasmogamy? What is the meaning of plasmogamy? जल्दी बोलना है बच्चों. What is the...
So may I tell?
Yeah, please बेटा, please. बोलिए बेटा प्लीज. क्या हुआ, लाइन डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया. चलो वॉट एवर इट मे बी. नाउ द process of fusion of the protoplasm of 2 cells, the process of the fusion of the protoplasm of the 2 cells, it is called as plasmogamy. And in the plasmogamy, the septum that is present between 2 walls, it will disappear, so that the complete protoplasm, it completely they get fused, which results in the formation of what, एक ही cell में 2 nuclei are present, and this is called as a dikaryotic or dikaryon stage. I don't have any problem, dikaryotic you write, dikaryon you write, मुझे कोई problem नहीं है. Understanding it? Now step number 2, dikaryon stage में 2 nuclei are there na. Now these 2 nuclei, they get fused to form the single nuclei, that is called as what, that is called as what, synkaryon stage or diploid stage. You write anything, मुझे कोई problem नहीं. सर मुझे dikaryon stage diploid stage मुझे easy है, write it. No, synkaryon stage मुझे ज्यादा अच्छा है, then you write, मुझे कोई problem नहीं, meaning is same. Now this undergoes, this diploid nucleus, it undergoes what, 1 meiosis. 1 meiosis का वजह से 4 haploid nuclei will be formed, and this whole 4 haploid nuclei धीरे धीरे they will produce what, spores, and the spores, they will come out and they will germinate to produce a new mycelium. This is nothing but what, the what, sexual reproduction. बच्चों साइकिल समझ में है ना आपको, साइकिल you understood, cycle you understood. Now I'll rub the cycle and you tell me. I'll rub it, I'll rub the cycle. Yes, I rub the cycle. Now tell me sexual reproduction of fungi. Tell me What is step number 1? Plasmogamy. Very nice. You are telling. Plasmogamy. प्लास्मोगमी के बाद व्हाट विल कम बच्चों? प्लास्मोगमी के बाद डाइकैरियन स्टेज. डाइकैरियन स्टेज. नाउ डाइकैरियन स्टेज के बाद कैरियोगमी. कैरियोगमी. नाउ कैरियोगमी के बाद सिंकैरियन और डिप्लॉयड स्टेज. यू राइट एनीथिंग, मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम बच्चों, मैं बार बार वही बोल रहा है. यू सिंकैरियन यू राइट, मैं मार्क्स देता है. डिप्लॉयड स्टेज यू राइट, मैं मार्क्स देता है. मुझे कोई इश्यू नहीं है, बिकॉज दोनों सेम ओनली ना. नाउ सिंकैरियन के बाद व्हाट? मियोसिस. एंड मियोसिस का वजह से 4 हैप्लॉयड nuclei which converts into 4 haploid spores. Okay, and these 4 haploid spores, they will come out and they will germinate to produce what? Mycelium. And again mycelium at the time of sexual reproduction, plasmogamy. This is a cycle. समझ में children? Okay, any confusions, queries? सर दिस पॉइंट और एक बार बोलेगा तो मुझे अच्छा लगेगा, ऐसा कुछ है क्या बच्चों? नो ना, ये सब बिल्कुल नहीं है ना? नो. कैन आई कॉन्फिडेंटली गो टू द टाइप्स? सर लास्ट पॉइंट एंड में कुछ नहीं. वेट दैट मीन्स डू यू थिंक आई फॉरगॉट? नो बेटा रजा, आई नेवर फॉरगेट. याद रख. ओके, मैं बुद्धिमान है. आई नेवर. उसके लिए थोड़ा टाइम चाहिए, बिकॉज टाइप्स आर देयर ना. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ आई एक्सप्लेन नाउ, यू डोंट अंडरस्टैंड. दैट्स व्हाई मैं खुद ही इग्नोर किया मैंने. आई बाय माई सेल्फ आई इग्नोर किया मैंने. ओके, बिकॉज ना दिस विल कम इन दिस टाइप्स. सी देखो, इधर आएगा. मैं पहले एक्सप्लेन करेगा तो आपको है ना, एक सर अभी तक अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन किया, अभी क्या बात करें, आपको ऐसा लगता है. दैट्स व्हाई मैं खुद ही आई स्टॉप्ड इट. Okay, now the next one, the 5 types of sexual reproduction. Understanding it बच्चों? There are 5 types of sexual reproductions are there. बच्चों process समझ में ना? And this process it takes place in how many types बच्चों? 5 types. This process it takes place, the same process, but it takes place in how many different types बच्चों? 5 different types. What are the 5 different types? The first one is planogametic copulation. बच्चों what is that? What is that बच्चों? Planogametic copulation. And second one is what? Gametangial contact. And the next one is what? Gametangial copulation. And the fourth one is what? Spermatization. And the last one it is called what? Somatogamy. Now tell me बच्चों, sexual reproduction it takes place in how many types? Sexual reproduction, how many steps are there? Sexual reproduction में how many steps are there? 3. And how many types are there? Steps 3, types 5. So कंफ्यूज नहीं होगा ना बच्चों? कंफ्यूज हुआ तो बाप रे बहुत बड़ा किचड़ी हो जाएगा, इतना बड़ा किचड़ी हो जाएगा. अंडरस्टैंडिंग इट? सो डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज्ड. 3 steps and 5 types. 3 steps and 5 types. Okay, now tell me what are the 5 types? Tell me what are the 5 types? Planogametic copulation. What is that? Planogametic copulation. Planogametic copulation. Second one, gametangial contact. What is that बच्चों? Gametangial contact. Gametangial contact. And the third one is what? Gametangial copulation. What is that बच्चों? Gametangial copulation. And the last one is spermatization. What is that बच्चों? Spermatization. And the fifth one is somatogamy. What is that बच्चों? Somatogamy. Understood बच्चों? Can you be able to read by yourself बच्चों? और एक बार प्रोनाउंस करो, हमको अच्छा लगेगा. ऐसा कुछ है क्या? सेफ्टी के लिए और एक बार प्रोनाउंस करेगा. प्लानोगैमेटिक कॉपुलेशन. हैप्पी? प्लानोगैमेटिक कॉपुलेशन. ओके, नाउ गैमेटेंजियल कॉन्टैक्ट. गैमेटेंजियल कॉन्टैक्ट. गैमेटेंजियल कॉपुलेशन. गैमेटेंजियल कॉपुलेशन. स्पर्मेटाइजेशन. स्पर्मेटाइजेशन. लास्ट वन सोमैटोगमी. सोमैटोगमी. हैप्पी? Now will you be able to, आपके लिए मैं और एक बार प्रोनाउंस किया. Happy now? You can be able to pronounce by yourself. Very good, nice, very nice. Now let us take the first one. Planogametic copulation. Planogametic copulation matlab the copulation or the fusion. Sir, copulation matlab, sir, what do you mean by copulation, sir? Copulation matlab fusion. Understanding it? So by the sexual reproduction, again, don't ask me, sexual reproduction takes place in 3 steps: plasmogamy, karyogamy, and meiosis. So by that the gametes are formed, and by these gametes or spores are formed, and these spores, if they are produced flagellated, if they are produced what bacho flagellated, understand, then that is called as what planogametic. That means by meiosis, understanding it, four haploid what again cells, nucleus are formed na. This 4 haploid nucleus, if they converts into what spores, then that is called what sporulation. No, if they converts into what gametes, then that is called as gametogenesis. Understanding it? That means the 4 haploid nuclei hai na, necessarily every time they do not form spores, sometimes they even form what gametes also. Not audible. Ask kya everyone are like from the beginning I am seeing like network issue hai kya itna, I don't know. Now tell me, bachcho, spores. Now tell me, by meiosis, every time spores only will be formed or gametes also will be formed? Every time spores are formed, both will be formed. Understand? Sometimes what gametes will be formed, sometimes what spores will be formed. Now, this gametes, if they are flagellated, that means they have flagella. So then that is called what planogametic copulation. Now tell me, bachcho, kya samajh wrong bhi chalega mujhe? Tell me confidently. I will correct it if it is wrong. What is the meaning of planogametic copulation? What is the meaning of planogametic copulation? If bisexual reproduction, understanding it, if the meiosis forms the flagellated gametes, if the meiosis tak pata hai na, I already told you, plasmogamy, karyogamy, and meiosis. By meiosis, the flagellated gametes are formed. Then that type of process it is called as planogametic copulation. और एक बार बोलो बच्चों, 100 times I tell you, but you should understand. सच बोलना है everyone. Clear? Now, but I am not clear, but I want answer. Tell me who will tell me the answer. Planogametic copulation मतलब by meiosis का द्वारा, if the flagellated gametes are formed, the diploid nucleus, it is dividing to produce the flagellated gametes. Yeah, Amit, I am repeating. Please listen. Okay, please listen. By meiosis, the diploid nucleus, it is forming flagellated gametes. Then that is called as planogametic copulation. Understood better? Amit and also Kshitija and also who else asked? Aditya also asked. Beta, samajh mein na? Amit beta and also Kshitija beti. And who else asked? Aditya. क्या क्षितिजा को समझ में नहीं आया क्या? Understood. Okay. Now, who will tell the answer? What is the meaning of planogametic? Now, अभी तक मैंने बोला, अभी आपका turn. This is your turn now. What do you mean by planogametic copulation? Tell me. Now, अभी तक मैंने बात किया ना, अभी आप बात करना है. What is the meaning of planogametic copulation? By meiosis, the diploid nucleus, it divides to produce flagellated gametes. Then that is called as planogametic copulation. Now, by planogametic copulation, 3 types of planogametic copulations can be seen. What are they? By planogametic copulation, sometimes दोनों as it is similar gametes will be formed. As it is similar दिखता है. As it is similar gametes are formed, and this similar gametes are fusing. Then that is called as what? Isoplanogametic copulation. Understanding it? By planogametic copulations, the formed gametes are exactly similar and they are fusing, and that is called as planogametic copulation. No. By planogametic copulations, the formed gametes are dissimilar, and these dissimilar gametes are fusing. Then that is called as anisoplanogametic. By planogametic copulation, the similar gametes are formed. Similar, that means as it is same दिखता है, and these similar gametes are fused. Then that is called as what? Isoplanogametic copulation. समझ में ना जय कुमार? जय बेटा समझ में ना आपको? By planogametic copulation, the formed gametes are ना exactly same दिखता है and this similar gametes are fusing, then that is called as what? Planogametic copulation. मतलब by meiosis, the diploid nucleus, it is forming 4 haploid flagellated gametes, then that is called as planogametic copulation. I don't know who asked. Clear? And by this planogametic copulation, the formed gametes are exactly similar, and these similar gametes are fusing, then that is called as isoplanogametic copulation. Isoplanogametic copulation समझ में आया? नहीं समझ में आया? बोलिए. यस ओके. लास्ट में लास्ट क्वेश्चंस बच्चों, हाँ याद रख. हाँ यस यस बोलना बहुत इजी है, लास्ट में क्वेश्चंस आंसर करना है. ओके डील डील और नो डील? Deal. Okay. Now the planogametic copulations का द्वारा, by planogametic copulation, the gametes are formed which are exactly similar to each other. They are exactly like Amarendra Bahubali or Jayendra Bahubali. Understand it? Like that. Exactly similar. And this exactly similar gametes are fusing. Then that is called as isoplanogametic copulation. शंकर मैं आपके लिए रिपीट किया. शंकर बेटा मैं आपके लिए रिपीट भी किया. By planogametic copulation, exactly similar gametes are formed. Exactly similar gametes are formed, and the similar gametes are fused. Then that is called as what? Isoplanogametic copulation. Now, anisoplanogametic copulation matlab by planogametic copulation, dissimilar gametes are formed. Dissimilar gametes. One is bada hota hai, one is small hota hai, and these dissimilar gametes are fused. Then that is called as what? Anisoplanogametic copulation. Anisoplanogametic copulation. समझ में ना anisoplanogametic copulation? समझ में ना बच्चों? Anisoplanogametic copulation समझ में ना? Whereas oogametic copulation मतलब इसमें two gametes are there ना? Two gametes में one gamete will move, the other gamete do not move. Understand here? So one gamete it is moving, the other gamete is not moving. So the fusion, if it takes place between one motile and the other non-motile gametes, then that is called as what? Planogametic copulation. बच्चों समझ में ना? Planogametic copulation. Understood? Understood? Now, no. By planogametic copulation, gametes are formed ना. इसमें one gamete it is moving, the other gamete it is not moving. If the fusion it takes place between one moving and the other non-moving gametes, then that is called as oogametic copulation. One is moving, the other is not moving. One is moving, the other is not moving. So if this type of fertilization is called as what? Planogametic copulation. Is this okay? आदित्य मैं आपके लिए रिपीट भी किया मैंने. क्लियर ना बच्चों? देखते हैं हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू विल आंसर. अभी पता चलेगा आपको, आप सच बोल रहे हैं नहीं तो झूठ बोल रहे हैं. यस मैं पूरा क्लियर किया ना. देखता है अभी. हाउ मेनी टाइप्स ऑफ सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शंस आर देयर? सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन में पहले हाउ मेनी स्टेप्स आर देयर? नो विल स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग. नो विल बिगिनिंग से हम चालू करेगा. नो ऐसा नहीं. हाँ, हाउ मेनी स्टेप्स आर देयर इन सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन में? हाउ मेनी स्टेप्स? 3 steps. What are the 3 steps? What are the 3 steps? Plasmogamy. Next one is what? Karyogamy. And next one is what? Meiosis. Okay बच्चों. Now the next one. What is the next one? How many types of sexual reproduction is there? How many types are there? There are 5 types. How many types बच्चों? 5 types of sexual reproductions are there. Now what is the first type? What is the first type? Planogametic copulation. Understood बच्चों? Now planogametic copulation मतलब क्या? What do you mean by plano? Definition. What is a planogametic copulation? What is planogametic copulation? What is? By meiosis, By meiosis, if the flagellated gametes are produced, if flagellated gametes are produced by meiosis, then that is called as planogametic copulation. Okay. Now, again, planogametic copulation is of how many types? Again, planogametic copulation is of how many types? 3 types. What are the 3 types? Tell me. What are the 3 types? 1. Isogamy or isoplano gametangial copulation. You write anything. Direct, simply write, sir. Isoplano gametic copulation, sir. Itna lamba name. Who will write? At least write isogamy. मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है बिकॉज इट इज करेक्ट. मुझे क्या प्रॉब्लम? 1 डाउट क्या बेटा? 10 डाउट्स यू आस्क. मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. क्षितिजा बेटी प्लीज आस्क. टू बी फ्रैंक, इफ यू आस्क डाउट्स ओनली आई विल फील हैप्पी. मुझे मजा आता है व्हेन एनीवन आस्क डाउट्स. I am waiting. You are not telling. Kshitija, I am waiting for you. See, why dissimilar gametes are found? मतलब, see, it's all destiny बच्चों. सर आप क्यों? You are a biology teacher, सर आप logically बात करना है, philosophically नहीं. बच्चों, few things we don't have logic. For example, same twins are there. Understanding it? But same twins, sometimes they exactly look similar, sometimes they look dissimilar. Now tell me bachcho, now how will you justify this? If you explain logic for this, then I can be able to explain the logic. Few things we don't have logic. Understand? Few things no, we can't explain. So how dissimilar gametes are formed, matlab it's like this. So similar twins, sometimes they will be formed, but same twins may some one will get male and some, the other one becomes female also. There are some cases. Understanding it? That means what happens, it's all by chance. See, the only thing is what because we don't have answer now, that's why we have to tell it is all by chance. Understanding it? My question is, do dissimilar gametes fuse? Yeah, obviously. That is only called as what do you call anisogamy na? Anisogamy. Again you are asking. आइसोगमी मतलब क्या बेटा? आइसोगमी मतलब फ्यूजन बिटवीन सिमिलर गैमेट्स. एनाइसोगमी मतलब एन आइसोगमी मतलब डिसिमिलर गैमेट्स. एंड ऊगमी मतलब व्हाट? one motile gamete and the other one is non motile gamete. Understanding it? That is called ugami. है ना? I'm expecting answer from Kshitija because she asked the question. That's why I'm waiting for her answer actually. Yes, it is crystal clear. Yeah, very nice, very nice. Now patapat, it's already late. We waited so much. Okay, now tell me again, how many types of plasmogamies are there? How many types of how many types of planogametic copulations are there? 3 types. What is the first type of planogametic copulation? Yes, isogamy or isoplanogametic copulation. You write anything, मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, मैं दोनों को मार्क्स देता है. What is the meaning of isogamy? फटाफट बोलना है. What is the meaning of isogamy? The process of fusion of similar gametes. Process of fusion of similar gametes. The process of fusion of similar gametes. Now, what is the second type? What is second type? Anisoplanogamitic copulation or simply write anisogamy. मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. Now, tell me what is the meaning of anisogamy? Two dissimilar gametes. Two dissimilar gametes matlab one may be large and the other will be small. See, they are looking dissimilar na. So the fusion between two dissimilar gametes, it is called as what? Anisogamy. Understanding it? Now tell me the last one. What is the last one? Ugamy. Ugamy. Now tell me what is the meaning of ugamy bachcho? Ugamy matlab kya? Fusion between one motile and the other one is non-motile. The other one is non-motile. Then this type of fusion, it is called as planogametic copulation. Sorry, what is it? Planogametic copulation. Bachcho, I asked questions also, and I'm so happy that you are all answering very actively. You are participating. So, but still safety is important. I always see for safety na. Confidently, you understood na, sir? 100%. Any question come, we are ready to handle, sir. Now we will play with that question. इतना confidence आया आप लोगों को? We'll literally play with that question, sir. We can answer anything. Okay, nice. Now can I go for second type? 5 types में एक type, 1 type I completed. Now can I go for the second type? Yes. Now the second type is time क्या है? Yeah, 5 minutes time is there बच्चों. Time क्या है? 5 minutes time is there. We can continue. The next one is what? Gametangial contact. What is that? Gametangial contact. बच्चों gametangial contact is the second type of sexual reproduction. Second type of sexual reproduction में देखो, मान लो दिस इज mycelium. थोड़ा ध्यान से सुनो बच्चों, प्लीज थोड़ा ध्यान से सुनो, अदरवाइज आपको दिक्कत आएगा. मान लो दिस इज व्हाट mycelium. mycelium में मान लो दिस इज one hypha and मान लो this is another hypha. Same mycelium, understanding? This is same mycelium. Mycelium में I have taken 2 hypha. I have taken how many hypha बच्चों? How many? 2 hypha. Now this is 2 hypha of the same mycelium. 2 hypha of the same mycelium. Now this mycelium, understanding? This is first mycelium. उसका नाम क्या देता है? X mycelium. Okay, because so that you will understand easily. Otherwise है ना first second आपको है ना कंफ्यूज हो जाएगा. That's why मैं फर्स्ट mycelium के लिए फर्स्ट हाइफे के लिए x दे रहे हैं एंड सेकंड mycelium के लिए y दे रहे हैं. अभी you never get confused. Now X mycelium it behaves like male. Now Y mycelium it behaves like what? Female. Okay, now tell me बच्चों X mycelium, okay, it behaves like dash. Sir, even though today I was facing a lot of net, but you explained the content many times and also revised multiple times. So, okay. Thank you, Kshitija Beti. Thank you so much. Okay. Now one is explaining, one is behaving like what, bachcho? Male. The second one is behaving like what? Female. Okay. Idhar tak any confusions are not there na? Idhar tak. This, sir, A point tak, no confusion. अभी तक एक ही पॉइंट है एक्सप्लेन, अभी तक इतना एक ही पॉइंट. ओके, नाउ टेल मी पॉइंट नंबर 1 क्या समझ में आया? अभी तक एक पॉइंट में एक्सप्लेन किया ना, क्या समझ में आया? 1 पॉइंट में क्या समझ में आया? फर्स्ट पॉइंट में क्या समझ में आया बच्चों? आई एम वेटिंग फॉर योर रेस्पॉन्स. 2 hyphae of mycelium, 2 hyphae of same mycelium, 2 hyphae of same mycelium, one act as male, the other act as female. First point समझ में ना? 2 hyphae of the same mycelium, one act as male, the other one act as female. समझ में है ना? And the one which is acting as male उसको हम बोलते हैं antheridium. बच्चों what is that? The one which is acting as male उसको हम बोलता है, क्या बोलते हैं बच्चों? antheridium. Okay, and the one which is acting as female, it is called as oogonium. It is called as what? Oogonium. Now tell me bachcho, what do you mean by antheridium and oogonium? What do you mean by antheridium and what do you mean by oogonium? Antheridium मतलब क्या है? Oogonium मतलब क्या है? I want that answer. Antheridium मतलब yes, male, and oogonium matlab female. Understood bachcho? This is point number 1. Now point number 2 is let us take this is example के लिए, just example के लिए let us take this is 1 hyphae example के लिए बच्चों. Now it produced what? Antheridium, male gamete. Okay, now let us take this is what? Second hyphae and it produced what? Oogonium. Okay, now this antheridium and oogonium they come close to each other. Earlier they are separate na, see they are separate. Now this antheridium and archegonium they become close. Now tell me bachcho, what is second step? Step number 2 is what? Step number 2 is what? This antheridium and oogonium earlier they are what? Little far. Now they become close. So step number 2. Understand? Step number 3. थोड़ा ध्यान से सुनो बच्चों, थोड़ा ध्यान से सुनो प्लीज, थोड़ा ध्यान से सुनो. Now क्या? It is blinking. Okay, no problem. Our time is there. Now this antheridium. Now this is what बच्चों? Antheridium. Now this antheridium, it produces a tube-like structure. Understand it? And this tube-like structure, it is called as fertilization tube. Which tube, bachcho? It is called as what? Fertilization tube. And this fertilization tube, it enters into the female reproductive organ that is called as oogonium. Understanding it? Now tell me, bachcho, what is the third step? Third step, male antheridium produces a tube, and वो tube का नाम fertilization tube, and this tube it enters into the female gamete, female oogonium. Now tell me what is third step, बच्चों? No. I want from the first step. No. I want from the first step. Step number 1. No, मुझे पहले से चाहिए. Step number 1. क्या हुआ बच्चों? You are not answering. दिक्कत हुआ क्या कुछ? 2 hyphae of same mycelium. 2 hyphae of what? Same mycelium. एक ही mycelium. One it is acting as male and second is acting as what? Female. Okay. First one is antheridium. Male it is called antheridium and female it is called as oogonium. Point number 1 समझ में ना? Point number 2. What is point number 2? They come close. And point number 3. Point number 3. Point number 3. Male produces a fertilization tube and it enters into the oogonium. Understanding it? Now, part 1 completed and to be continued tomorrow. So 3 steps समझ में ना बच्चों? You understood 3 steps? So to be continued tomorrow. Okay, we will continue tomorrow. Okay. Chalo. Bye children. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Because you answered well. I am very happy for that. Bye.